Welcome to Beijing, China, where Chris Cornwell takes the first pole of the season, followed by Nico Palomino, and your boy, reigning series champion Revo, starts 4th from Sebastian Ocampo and Charles Hernandez. Awful Catfish starts 7th from Casper LeBeau and Verse Theo, then comes your Puff, U-Cable, and rounding out your top 12, Daph Sanchez. Remy LeBeau on the cusp of entering that top 12, then followed by Zach Sheeden and Nunez Garcia, then comes Lars Leclerc, Daniel Bogdasarov, teammate Gabriela Barton, and Marcus Nelson. Dominic Hudson and Onkro Ezra start 20th and 21st, then comes Linus Eriksson, Carlos Fernandez, and David Twa. 3 years ago, the ERL Formula E World Series touched down in Beijing for its first ever race. Today, we begin Season 30 at the same place as all 5 legs go on. And we are underway for the Beijing ePrix, and it's a fantastic getaway off the line there from Nico Palomino, edging in front of Chris Cornwell as they head down into turn number 1, making the most of the inside line and taking the lead of the race. Revo tries to follow the Spaniard through, moves up into 3rd place, but loses out to your boy on corner exit coming through turn number 2. So it's Palomino from Cornwell and Revo then getting back in front of your boy by switching over to the inside, coming through the hairpin of turn number 5. The two Maserati drivers then running 4th and 5th. Palomino also, I think it's good to add, starting on the soft compound tires. The only man in the top 8 to do so, and it works out perfectly for him. Cornwell dropping about a second already behind the Spaniard. No safety cars for this race, is off into the wall and a full course yellow coming out for Sanchez and UK-Ball. Just as I was about to mention the reason for us not having safety cars today, that being that this track was flagged as one for having common crashes around the lap. As a result, making sure that we get green flag laps in, we won't have safety cars today. We already have on lap 1 a full course yellow. Now the cautions are ending for U-Cable and Power Motorsport. Absolutely not what they needed as we go green again on lap 2 of 14. Power Motorsport coming into the season looking pretty good in the test. But now with their flagship entry in the 89 not even being able to circulate the opening lap, that shows that they have some work to do still. Fastest first sector for Nico Palomino, 2 seconds better than what he did on lap 1, but it's Remy LeBeau down in 12th in the other Power Motorsport car who steals that fastest opening sector title from him despite being 2 seconds off the back of Verse Theo. Revo on the back of Chris Cornwell. The top 3 not really challenging each other for position just yet. I'm sure that Porsche, Sims, and Revolution Racing, and in fact you can throw in, oh, we've got another caution, and that is a big one. Eriksson and Bogdasarov off into the wall at the same corner, which took out U-Cable and Sanchez, and Hudson involved in that as well. A second full course yellow in as many laps here in Beijing. Into the pits then for the top 3. Make that the top 4. Ocampo staying out. Now, of course, this is a good time to recharge the batteries. Using pit boost, Ocampo setting the new fastest lap. And that would mean he is currently in possession of those 2 fastest lap points. But this is when you do need to come in and make that stop. If ever there was a perfect time to do so. Revolution Racing definitely doing a better job than Sims, taking that 7 car back onto the road in 11th place in front of Chris Cornwell, but still quite a ways behind this man, Nico Palomino, in 9th place, who leads all of those who came in. The top 3 before the pit stops, in fact, the top 5. Oh, we got another yellow. Oh, that's Remy LeBeau in the background there. And he is out with Zach Sheeden down at turn number 5. Neither Power Motorsport car will see the checkered flag. And the Nissan rookie being way too opportunistic, and issues for Marcus Nelson as well. Powertrain failure. And a red car there for the number 13. So neither Andretti will finish this race either. Didn't report on this during the test, but we were hearing some rumbles about technical problems in their private tests. But we see that with the 13 now, and that is it for the American team. We go green again with Ocampo not making it to pit lane in time, so he will come in and make a green flag stop, as will everyone else who will come into the pits at the end of this lap. So thus far, that is the top 5. Leclerc staying out. Not looking too quick going down the straight, though. Stuck in 6th gear there. Palomino setting the fastest final sector. 2 tenths off of the lead. And really hounding the Monegasque driver in front of him. Coming through turn 2. Hogging that inside line. Making sure that Leclerc knows that he is there. I think Palomino knows if ever there was a season to go after the championship, it would have to be this season. Revo, however, already on the back of him after clearing Oinkro Ezra. This battle might bring the rest of the field closer to the lead. The 93 going side by side. Here comes the 7. He might have the better line. There goes Palomino to the lead. Is Revo going to try and make a pass as well? Going down the inside into the snail. Well, no, he will not. Lifts off, goes down the inside, and it's contacted out of the race. And another full course yellow, this time including your reigning series champion. Leclerc and Revo both out on lap 4. Wow. We've lost 3 of the big focused drivers then. The 2 Power Motorsport drivers and the reigning series champion all out of this race. Those were the guys that I had pinned as most likely to make an impact in the latter stages of this race. Palomino already back down into pit lane as we go green again. Okay, your boy's down for his second stop. Chris Cornwell will take the lead. Oinkro Ezra also down into pit lane. Here's versus Theo making the lunge down the inside on the season 24 champion of Puff. Down to 3rd place for the Scotsman, up to 2nd for the Brazilian. The lone Nissan Nismo car in this race. The championship order leaving today is going to be unbelievable, to say the least, with the new points format. Chris Cornwell for Sims Gazoo Racing started from the pole, and we've got another caution. It's Bogdasarov and your boy, the 2 Frenchmen, out of the race, down at turn 5. At the same corner, which saw Remy LeBeau and Zach Sheeden make their exit from this race. My oh my. Down to 13, and we're not even halfway through. All of these incidents have seemed to be a result of an overcorrection, is the thing with these new cars. Despite them being slower, they don't seem in any way to cause less incidents as we go green. Might come down to the groove tires that Bridgestone has given us for this season as Cornwell dives down into the pits. Fernandez and Garcia getting involved in a minor incident there, which has resulted in the 25 car getting a 5-second time penalty. Casper LeBeau now takes the lead of this race. Realistically, this race is going to go down to one of the Sims cars. I don't think there's another way I can put it. Palomino, though, now up in 6th place, still getting hounded by Oinkro Ezra. Porsche putting the Spaniard on soft compound tyres. It's good for this stint in the race because it means that he can go faster than Nigerians going down the inside. Doesn't make the move and in fact loses a ton of time. So now 12 and Cornwell on the back of the number 47. Running on board with the 12 of David 12. And he just loses so much time to the Mercedes in front, down the straight, contact and into the wall and out of the race for David 12. Cornwall came steaming down the inside. And the result of that is some major damage to the Venturi. Now everyone who will finish this race is going to score points. That's something that happened a lot last season. As you can see, that train of cars heading down into the pits. Full course yellows are ending, as we're now halfway through this Beijing ePrix, which is shaping up to be quite the war of attrition. Palomino taking the lead from Casper LeBeau. You can see Chris Cornwell on the back of her teammate. We ride on board with the 96. And the exit there, for that Sims car in particular, not too great. For Casper, though, I think he's flying. I don't think there's another driver in any of these cars who's having as much fun in these new cars as Casper LeBeau. Now all over the back of Nico Palomino. Where is he going to place that number 34? He's looking to the inside. He'll come steaming down the inside, forces the Spaniard off the road and out of the race for both of them. Into the lead then for Casper LeBeau. He gets a 5-second time penalty. It's Chris Cornwell who's out of this race. And in this opening round of the season, we have already lost 14 drivers. Talk about poor driving standards. Cornwell and Casper LeBeau both receiving time penalties for that incident. Honestly, I cannot see how that is not a time penalty for either of them. We go green again on lap 8 of 14. I think that was Theo flying down into pit lane. You are Puff also down there. I think it's just Citroen Racing who have both their cars in this race still. This debut for the new ERL 03Bs. Sebastian Ocampo, fastest in the opening sector. On the back of Charles Hernandez. On those one-lap-old soft compound tyres that are already showing signs of their age. But he's still thinking about when and where to make the pass. This kid, two-time champion already, in the slipstream of Charles Hernandez. Thinking about a move, heading into the penultimate corner on this track. Takes the inside, but cannot get anywhere near making the pass. In fact, he lost about a second there into the pits for Casper LeBeau, and he will serve his 5-second time penalty down into the pits for him and Sebastian Ocampo. Ocampo in the pits for his third stop. Awful Catfish taking the fastest lap of the race. For Revolution Racing, they are putting all of their hopes into this 2 car right now, just to bring down some good points. Gabriel Barkson, currently the last man who will score anything today, running in 10th place. That is worth 4 points. So no one will be scoring 2 or 1 points, respectively. Versus Theo on the back of Oinkro Ezra as they head down into turn number 5. The 38 making the lunge. Almost gets his nose chopped off. Just about survives. Is that a slow-moving Awful Catfish there? No, it is not. Thankfully, I thought that could have been pretty bad. Nunez Garcia running up in 3rd place. Pretty good for him. Ocampo all over the back of Verse Theo. Heading down into the snail. We've seen incidents here already today. But thankfully, keeping it clean. Verse Theo making the pass on Oinkro Ezra, heading down the back stretch. He's still side by side with that Mercedes car. He's going to have to make a lunge going into the penultimate corner. He's got his nose in front, and he will take 4th place as the race leaders dive down into the pits. Ocampo looking to the outside. Make that the inside. goes and makes the pass, as that is Verstio going slowly. Verstio going very slowly down the main straight. What happened there for the Nissan driver? Because Ocampo has now taken the lead quite handily with 4 laps to go. Hernandez 2 seconds down. Fernandez, fastest lap for Kuro Raceco. Sebastian Ocampo fastest in the first sector though. So for the 2-time Formula E champion, looking to take his first race win since season 26. Awful Catfish looking to the outside, to the inside, stuck up behind the Citroen in front of him. Is he going to go to the outside, going through the snail while there is action right in front? Contact made off the road for both of them, keeping it out of the wall. Through his own sheer willpower there for Uapov, who does concede the position, but thankfully keeps it out of the wall. The 34 of Casper Lebeau, trying to get past Verstio. Can he hold it around the outside? He does. Up to 3rd place for the Sims Gazoo driver as we head on to lap 11 of 14. Hernandez is closing in on Sebastian Ocampo. Fastest lap of the race goes to Ocampo as Verstio makes his 4th stop of the race alongside Uapov. And for the 2 drivers who lead this race, a race win today would mean a lot for both of them. For Sebastian Ocampo, it's his first race win since season 26, when he was driving for Hyperdrive Racing. That season was Revo's 4th championship, if you'll remember, en route to what is now 8. For Ocampo, he hasn't won a championship since season 19, in the days of the ERL 01s. But for Charles Hernandez, while Ocampo can boast the fact that he's the 4th winningest driver in the ERL, Hernandez unfortunately sits at 0 wins in Formula E. He needs to make a pass for the win at any moment necessary. And as he closes in on the Filipino driver in front of him, thinks about going to the inside at the hairpin. He's close. Is he close enough? They touch! The lead now going to the Porsche driver in the 52. Charles Hernandez leads this race as Ocampo comes in. Maserati obviously thinking about an undercut. One last stop in this race with 2 to go. This will only work if they stick him onto softs, and they do stick him on to the pink checked soft compound Bridgestones. He'll come out quite a ways behind as Garcia will move up to 2nd. Ezra moves up to 3rd. Ocampo comes out in 4th place, 20 seconds off of the race lead. He's got the fastest tires of everyone though, and the youngest in the top 5. He's charged up to the minimum possible to get him to the end of this race, so he can use all the power that he wants at his disposal and catch up to the top 3 and potentially even make the pass for Porsche Motorsports number 52 of Charles Hernandez. He's got the battery to get to the end. The tires might live to the checkered flag, but it is a might. Fastest in Sector 2 is this man, Sebastian Ocampo. Hernandez stays out for the penultimate lap of this race. 15 seconds behind is Nunez Garcia. Right behind is Oinkro Ezra, and there you can see Sebastian Ocampo to P3 in the number 76 Maserati racing car. Into the pits for Oinkro Ezra. Verstio might actually be trying to fly on the coattails of Sebastian Ocampo, despite him being 2 seconds up, and don't count out Casper Lebeau, setting the fastest 3rd sector. Those 2 points for the fastest lap could be worth everything. The headliners coming into this season, Chris Cornwell, Revo, U-Cable, Remy LeBeau, your boy, all out of this race already. It is anyone's game, and currently that game seems to be controlled by Charles Hernandez, who is heading down the back stretch and only has a lap and a 10th to go to win this race. Ocampo moves up into 2nd place with one of the most daring overtakes I've seen in quite some time in the ERL. Nunez Garcia had absolutely no answer to that But with tires that old and this little left in the race, you can't do too much. Hernandez is in pit lane. The tires couldn't hold on. They go on to soft compound tires. Ocampo goes through the final corner. Hernandez is in the lead as we begin. The current lap, 1 to go. But it's Ocampo who will take us through to turn number 1. Garcia's also down in pit lane. So is S30 for what is his 5th stop at this race. Hernandez is out 5 seconds off of the race lead. And in a race which has had 14 cars retire due to various different incidents. 3 of those down to contact, 1 of those due to a mechanical failure. We might see the return to the top step of a podium for a guy who came into the ERL guns blazing, winning in only his 2nd start, winning the championship in his sophomore season, going back in season 19 to win a 2nd. Could season 30 be championship number 3 for Sebastian Ocampo? Well, you're going to have to stick around here on Sparkplug Motorsport 1 from Beijing to London to find out. But on stop number 1, race numero uno, Sebastian Ocampo will come through the final corner as he's done before. He wins the Beijing ePrix. Charles Hernandez 3 seconds off. He did close down that gap, but just not enough. Casper Lebeau's 3rd, and it will be full points, 32 to Maserati Racing with that race win and the fastest lap. I cannot find the words to describe this man's career or what this means for him personally, but Sebastian Ocampo is back in the ERL Formula E World Series with a win in round 1 here in Beijing, followed by Charles Hernandez, who will have to try again next time out in Tokyo to get his first Formula E race win, and Casper Lebeau coming through the pack multiple times and coming home with 3rd. The rest of your finishing order and the standings will be on the other side. And after today's scintillating event, here are the official results. Sebastian Ocampo coming home with the fastest lap and the race win in front of Charles Hernandez and Casper Lebeau. Then came Awful Catfish, You Are Puff, Carlos Fernandez, Oinkaro Ezra, Nunez Garcia versus Theo, Gabriel Barton being the 10 finishes from today's race. Chris Cornwell, Nico Palomino, David 12th, Daniel Bogdasarov, your boy, Revo, Lars Leclerc, Remy LeBeau, Zach Sheeden, Marcus Nelson, Linus Eriksson, Dominic Hudson, Hugh Cable, and Daph Sanchez all failed to see the checkered flag, with only Marcus Nelson having his DNF being related to a technical issue. That, of course, being a problem with the battery. Now, after that, the Drivers' Championship looks relatively similar to the finishing order from today, with the only real notable thing being Sebastian Ocampo's points tally not being 30, but rather 32, as a result of scoring the fastest lap points. Otherwise, the points go down to 10th place as normal, with the non-finishers not scoring points, those being Chris Cornwell and Nico Palomino. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, and this is where it gets very interesting, Maserati Formula E lead the way from Tag Heuer Porsche and Citroën Formula E team. Then comes Sims Gazoo, Revolution Hyperdrive, Kiro Race Co., Mercedes EQ, Nissan Nismo, Honda, Venturi Racing, Power Motorsport, and Andretti BMW. Thank you so much for watching round 1 of the ERL Formula E World Series here on Sparkplug Motorsport 1. Next up on the SBM network is round 2 of the FG Series on Sparkplug Motorsport 2. Thank you so much for watching. Support the channel using the link to the merch store in the bio, and we will see you guys next time then when the Electric Racing League returns. Bye bye.